In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how we helped a client make $10,000 with one YouTube video, and I'll be sharing my 5-step framework to growing a service-based business through YouTube. So stay tuned. This is more like a case study. What I'm doing is unpacking everything we did, and for this particular client, we are not going to be revealing his identity based on our agreement. However, this is a result we got. I'm going to post screenshots here of his response, how he was updating us on the results he's getting, and this is not including the cost sales that he had on his channel when we started to work with him. First, I'd like to clarify that the $10,000, yes, it came via YouTube. However, that one YouTube video blew up, and that was what led to people discovering his channel and his other content. Also, the way we worked on that video and other videos after that, those are the things that led to him getting that result. So basically, the first thing we did when we started to work with him was to align his content with his offer. So there's one major problem that I've noticed about service-based business owners, especially those who are passionate about other things. Okay, so there's an issue of what they like to talk about and what they need to talk about. Many times what you like to talk about is not what your audience wants to hear. You might like to talk about books in your market where you're serving. What you are offering is something like electronics. It's going to be difficult for you to tie that kind of content to your offer. I'm not saying that you should not talk about things that you like to talk about. Okay, that's what makes your business unique. However, you need to also talk about the thing that aligns with your offer. If you're selling coaching, okay, what kind of coaching are you selling? Financial, health, relationship. So you need to make content that relates to that. And even when you are making content that is unique to do with what you want to say, you should always find a way to tie it to what your audience needs to hear. So how we solved that problem for him was that we created a balance between what he wanted to say and what he needed to say. Okay, so instead of making all these random podcasts about random topics, we put together certain topics that we've seen that people are interested in hearing, and then we sent it to him. He recorded content, and we were able to get better results. So align your content with your offer. That's the very first thing. And so the question you should ask yourself at this point is, what are you selling? What exactly are you selling? Make sure that what you are selling makes sense for someone to watch that content and buy whatever you are selling. The example that I gave, you don't want to be talking about books when what you're selling is electronics, or you don't want to be talking about, say for example, laptops when what you're offering is financial coaching, how to help business owners move from whatever revenue threshold they are right now to the next level. So that is the first thing you want to do. Ask yourself what you're selling. Ask yourself, what is your ICP, your ideal client's profile, searching for? Actually, when you clarify all of this, the content to offer alignment is more of a mind problem. Okay, so when you answer all these questions in your mind, you are able to easily write down things that you know that your ICP is searching for. That is that for that. So your action step for this first level is for you to write down 10 things that you think that your ideal client is searching for. Because if you've been serving people for years, I bet you know a couple of things that your ideal client is searching for on YouTube and on Google. So write them down, even if you've not researched them yet. To build momentum, just write them down. The next part of the framework is the pre-production. After we dial in our strategy, we move down to the pre-production part of things. And here is where we did research for YouTube SEO, the ideation, the video scripting, all of this. I'm categorizing it under the pre-production. Okay, so we use tools like VidIQ for YouTube keyword research. We actually ranked a number of his videos on certain topics. So that is because we made research with YouTube itself and then with VidIQ. We also organized all his content on Airtable, and we used ChatGPT to help him organize his scripts. Although I would say, I'm going to link in the description, I would give you a link to the content calendar on Airtable, and I'll probably make another video. Perhaps I'll just link to the other video that I made already on how to use VidIQ for YouTube SEO. I might update that video because I think some things have changed with VidIQ. You're going to get the link in the description so you can use them. But there's something I need to let you know. If you do not have a solid copywriting skill, or if you don't understand the basics of copywriting, you might find it difficult to write a YouTube script that would convert into sales. I'm being very specific here. A YouTube script that will lead to sales, rather. At this point, what you need to do, your action step, is to use VidIQ and YouTube to vet your video ideas. So in the first part of this phase, I already told you to write down things that you think your ideal client are searching for. So now is when you want to use VidIQ and YouTube to vet your ideas. In other words, you want to confirm if there is a market, if there are people interested in that video. Okay, so this is what we did at this point, and then we used Airtable to organize every piece of the content that has gone through our vetting process, that we know that okay, this video is likely to perform based on our research. It has 80 to 90% chance of getting the reach that we want. That is that for that. Then the next phase is the production, where you actually record your content. I'm yet to discover why, but should I say a lot of people in general, I don't know, but I've worked with business owners, more service-based business owners, and I know that they find this very difficult to record. However, if you're able to move past this phase, especially if you have a team that would assist you with the editing, if you're able to move past the recording phase, then you've outperformed a lot of people. The next part is simply for you to record. Use your phone. You don't need to have the best camera. I was going to wait for my light before recording this video, but then I thought about it again and I'm like, okay, what if the light doesn't come on time? Then I would have delayed what I should do. So I'm using natural light, as you can see, coming from my window here to record this video. And I'm using my webcam on my MacBook. That's all I'm using. I have one iPhone 12 mini right here. I'm not using that because setting it up might take up brain space that I'm not willing to give it right now. You are not Mr. Beast. What you are doing is you are solving a problem for your ideal clients. You are telling them exactly what to do. Exactly what I'm doing right now, or something similar to what I'm doing, is what you'd likely be doing too. Okay, so you don't necessarily need the best camera. You just need a camera that shows your face and it looks clean, like this one right now. We then move down to the post-production side of things, where we edited these videos, and for us, we take this part very, very, very seriously. But I would honestly tell you that depending on your brand, you might not need too much editing on your videos. The editing phase is basically where you use tools like CapCut. CapCut, I know, is the most popular tool, especially with business owners and generally with people who use social media. CapCut is the most popular. You can use CapCut to do basic editing, cut the dead space or the mistakes you make. You use your CapCut to cut them out. I would also make another video where I show you some basic editing that you can do with your videos to make them better and to make them engaging for people to watch. In case you are willing to edit your video yourself, you can watch the video and enjoy. The last thing we do is we analyze and then we re-strategize. This is where we come to the YouTube studio, the back end, and we look at the video that have performed well and the watch time. We analyze the video that has gotten highest number of watch time, click through rate, and every other thing that we need to analyze. And then with that data, we make informed decisions and we know this is what our audience wants to see, and this is how we can best align our content to serve our audience or your audience. Because when you begin to work with us, we see your audience as our audience, not necessarily the audience that we serve, but the audience that we help you to serve. That is that for that. We analyze YouTube Studio, we look at the data, and then from there we are able to create better content for you and for him. We created better content for him. We used CapCut where he has his course sale, so we check to see the number of courses he's selling every month and which content is leading to that. If you are online business owner, a creator that has a business behind the scenes that depends on number of traffic that you get online, whether from YouTube or any other social media platform, click the first link in the description, because we can help you increase your revenue by increasing the number of people that get to discover you on YouTube and reach out to you for business. So we can help you attract high value clients from YouTube. So click the first link in the description, see how we can work together. See you on the other side. Thank you.